Hello and welcome in. Let's talk Hercules. So I've been upgrading, I've just upgraded Hercules, I've just unlocked him, he is 6 star, and we're just going through some of his abilities, just getting him all prepped up. And the thing about Hercules, so I want to do a comparison from Hercules to the other legendary characters. And honestly, this one here is all alphas. This ability here, this first one, guaranteed to inflict offense down, all alphas. Super cheap. Alphas and betas is the next one, level 3. Fairly cheap. For all of that he's doing now the max damage that he's going to do in his basic. Do you need another offense down duration? Now the second turn of offense down is nice and it's annoying to go against. But is it the most important thing, or can you use him without him? He's definitely usable without it. He's still a pain even just with one turn. Now going to his second one. Same thing here. All alphas to get the extra protect. Alphas and betas just for the extra damage, that's the full damage. You don't even have any gammas at this point. And then, at this point here, gain a copy of random helpful effects. So now that is good, and it's good for team building and other thoughts here. But outside of that, you don't need this to use Hercules. It can be good and it can be have its bonuses. But it's not needed, it's not necessary. Then we come along to his next special. This one, first one here, is alphas and betas, and that's going to get you your stun on the critical strike. That is the most important thing about this. Everything else here is not as important. You've got your 50% damage dealt. Yes, you kind of want to deal more damage, but if you're stunning them, the rest of your team can clean all that up. Do you need the damage meter? You don't need it. It is nice, but you don't need it to run him. He is still a pain in the butt all without that. And oftentimes someone will deal with Hercules enough before this even goes off anyway, so that it's not so important to invest your runes into. So in saying that, we've done most of his abilities to just get most of the damage out of him, most of the usability out of him, for pretty much no gammas. Well, no gammas so far. And then until you get to here. This is the only thing you really need to get gammas for, is that getting this guaranteed to gain protect when a teammate is damaged falls below 15%. That's just the extra protects that cause Hercules to be a bit of a pain. You can still run him without it, by any means. You can run him without it, with no gamma rune investment. And he is amazing. Now if we compare that to the likes of Ursula and Beast, they both take hundreds of gamma runes to even get them to their best usable state, to make the most out of them. Whereas Hercules, you can just get him, unlock him, gear him up, and then use him. That is nuts. That is nuts. And then here again, 10% damage reduction for basic abilities. That is also very good. But you don't need it. Now, yes, it will be better at low level, and if you have the runes, definitely put them in him. But as a character, to get everything and get him as a usable legendary with no gammas used, he is the cheapest legendary, in my opinion, than any others. So now Mickey, I'd say, will be a very cheap legendary. You only need Mickey for his Disneyland Forever, pretty much. That is the main thing you need, and that's about, say, I think it's about 25 and a 50. 75 gammas. That's it for Mickey. Elsa, you need to put some gammas into some of hers to max, because she's all there for the damage. She's all there for the things that she does. It's you kind of need it for Elsa. Now, can you search by legendary? I don't think so. Alright, but we'll just have to go through and go all, and then let's have a look at this. So with Elsa, you if you're using her, you need the max damage. You need to have, or you don't need to have the last stage of the natural force, which is locked, but you do need all the maxes of the rest, because you're using her all for her damage. That's pretty much all she is. She's her damage and her control. And without that, she's meh. Hercules, on the other hand, as I've mentioned, he is so good for all those other reasons. Beast, you need his basic maxed out. You need his Master of the Castle maxed out. Then also, to fully make the most of him, you're using him because he's a damage machine. You'll be better off maxing all these other ones, which I'm still not even at. But just to make him usable, you need his basic done right up, which is, this one's quite expensive too, and this one is super expensive. So even just getting those, and plus some of the stages of the other one, he is a very expensive legendary, whereas Hercules, on the other hand, as we've seen, doesn't cost much at all. Mickey, as I mentioned before, he has got the Disneyland Forever. That is pretty much the only one that you really need to go in. So this is like 25 gammas, this is 50 gammas. You can do it all as soon as he hits tier 8. But he needs to be tier 8 to get that and to make the most of him, or else you just don't need to invest those gammas into him. But pretty much you're using Mickey for the Disneyland Forever. That is pretty much what you're using him for. Now, aside from that, the last one is Baymax. Baymax will be on the cheaper end of legendaries as well. You don't need to have all of his abilities up. As you can see, I've been using mine for a long time without all these, like all the extra gamma runes on him, extra bonuses, kind of like Hercules, that it's a nice to have, but you can more than use him without it. And with that, I think just one or two of these ones here, you want to have the giving hero return, because you're pretty much always going to use Baymax and hero. Pretty much, not all the time, but pretty much always going to use them together. So here's another cheap legendary rune wise, but definitely I'd say Hercules is on top. You don't need any to get him usable for what he's doing. And then Beast being the most expensive, and Ursula isn't a traditional legendary, but like the legendary or raid exclusive. She needs gammas. Yeah, she is late game and expensive. But as far as that goes, if that is going to help you make a decision, Hercules will be well worth it for that reason. He is just going to be absolutely nasty. He's going to be crazy, just what he can do. So deal with that, because as far as for free to play or for light spenders, for having a character that you don't have to spend a whole lot on, that is amazing. That is amazing, and it's pretty just stupid how broken he is for next to no investment as well, which is in one way good, because people can just catch up and use him now. I can just go in and throw him in with nearly no investment, and he will do what he needs to do. He will do what he needs to do. He'll be a pain, and people will then have to deal with it. So there is that. So think what you will about it. He is by far the best legendary, I'd say, by far the cheapest, and fairly easy to get. All the characters are fairly good to get him to. So maybe a little bit biased for Panic and Pain, because Panic and Pain is amazing, but he is definitely well worth the investment to get him there. Let me know how you guys are going. I want to hear from you guys, and we'll see you in the description, not in the description, in the chat, in the comments below. And I want to hear from you guys. What are your guys' thoughts on Hercules? Have you gone all in on him? You can go all on him for 5-star, 6-star, or 7-star. Each of the last stars will just be more survivability, more damage. But you can use all his usable functions with the purge, the offense downs, the protecting, the going invincible, the stuns, all of that stuff as he is at any of those stages, and he can be just a pain in the butt. So there's a lot of hate for Hercules out of the thing, just because how stupid broken he is as well. Just because, like, why do you have a character that can do more than any others? Who knows? Who knows what Blue were thinking? I don't know. They were giving the fans a fan favorite and making him amazing, but I'd rather have balance. That's my opinion. I'd rather have balance with all characters to use around everywhere. But I want to hear from you guys. So we'll see you down below.